The Circle of Knowledge podcast is brought to you by Amplified Minds, helping entrepreneurs and professionals achieve their goals and aspirations by sharing a wealth of knowledge to you, our community of achievers. This podcast features best-selling industry resources, interviews, and the professional panel discussion by the core team at Amplified Minds. Now, here are their discussions. Welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. This is your host, Jon Kovach Jr. with Amplified Minds. Super excited today to talk to one of my good friends and a person who's been coming to our Amplified Minds events, who we've gotten to know through a professional way and is an incredible professional with a really cool business model, helping a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners out there. I want to introduce my good friend, Anthony Campo, and thank you for being on the show today, Anthony.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I love your events. I love your guys' the people that you built, the community you built, and it's so awesome to have you guys.
Hey, thanks.
I'm honored to be on your show today, and I hope I can live up to the standards that you put out. So.
Well, hey, thank you. The standards are pretty low, and if anything, I want to know, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and as a professional, you also have your own podcast. Am I right?
Yeah, I have a podcast. It's called the Be Battle Ready podcast. So the idea around the podcast, we did take a deep dive look in what it takes to run a battle ready business, and really focusing on marketing, sales, client service, and leadership. So, and I have this motto, and you want to put all those things together so that you can go to war in the marketplace and win. So.
And tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind that, because I love this war mentality, the ready to fight, ready to tackle the day. Where does this come from? What's your background?
So, I could go back to when I was a kid. I come from two parents that are fighters. Like, literally, my mom, as a fighter, no matter what she's in. So she really shaped that. My dad, growing up, was a really, a guy that doesn't take anything from anything. And I remember when I was 4 years old, I got punched in the face by an older kid, and I come home. I have a 3.5-year-old. I can't believe he did this, but he goes, "Hey, what are you crying to me for? I want you to go back out there and kick his butt." In better terms, but
sure.
So I was like, "Okay, Dad," and some kids helped me and did all that stuff. But I grew up playing sports. I got into a high school football program that during our era, we won national championships. Right now, they're in another era. They're just an awesome program. You talk about a leader that influences you. This man, Coach Rawlinson, really influenced us. He called us warriors. So ever since then, I looked at myself as a warrior. Went on to play rugby, did all this other stuff. So I've always put myself in these positions where I had to fight. So, and I've always been attracted to that element. I wanted to go to military school when I was a kid. It just wasn't in our cards, and considered the military early on, but I had a love for football, so I stuck with football. So it's always been a part of it. And what organization runs efficiently and effectively, in no matter what the theater is, what the task is, and the mentality that they basically indoctrinate everybody, all their soldiers in the U.S. military. So the more I read, I just read Extreme Ownership and Dichotomy of Leadership by Jocko Willis, and I was like, man, this is such aligning with what it was, what I'm considering, the way I see it. Everything. It's awesome. So
I love that. And I love the energy that you bring, because it really is the fighter mentality of, I'm going to fight for what I want, and I'm going to fight for what we need. And businesses that go into the workplace saying, "Oh, I've got a perfect product, it'll sell." And they have this kind of like relaxed, lackadaisical, maybe even let's call it conservative approach to providing a resource or service to people in the world. They're going to be surpassed by the fighters of the world, because whether their business is better than yours or not, it doesn't matter. It's those who have that fighter mentality that end up finding a lot more fast success and build a lot more than they do tear down. A lot of people think the fight or fight, the fighter mentality is tearing people down and destroying things, but no, it is building. It's building fast and building strong, and it's really, really quick. And I think you emulated that in just a quick introduction.
Yeah, and the other part of that, if you look at any type of, if it's a team sport, if it's MMA, if it's the military, like, yeah, you've got to be able to fight, and you've got to have that training, and that's a part of it. Like, you've got to have that training that you put yourself through, the hard times, because a lot of times training has to be harder than the actual fight. But it's also the planning preparation that goes into it. If you look at a fighter or a successful football team or a military unit, there's a lot of planning and execution and collaboration that has to go into executing the mission. And and that's one of the core concepts of really being battle ready, is having an executable plan that you can dial in your targets and just release on it, right? And have that organized effort, that collaboration, just going after one target. When I've experienced that running, I had a gym for about 8 years. And when it all started taking off when I just started bringing team members on, and we had a system in place. And, when I said, hey, we're going to go do this, I already had structure and framework. It was so easy and efficient to go do that, to have your own way to do something, that it just amplified. We started growing, we grew 500% in 3 years. It was crazy. And, this is my first business by myself and all that stuff. So not technically by myself, I had a team, but I wasn't having true partners or anybody that was mentoring me or that stuff. So.
Man, that is awesome. Well, tell us a little bit more about your business in this. And you've introduced us to your background and then the mentality behind it and how great that is. But tell us a little bit more about your business and multiple businesses. It sounds like you've got a consulting agency. It sounds like you're working with a gym. Just tell us a little bit about that, and then I'll have a few more questions to follow it up. But I think it's very interesting, and the world might want to know and hear what it is that you have going and why you're doing it.
Let's just start with a why. Sure. Ultimately, my biggest why is so that people, once my mom, she later on, when I was probably 15, started her own business. She was a realtor, but she finally found the business that was really her business, that really fit her. And she ended up I saw the freedom that it provided her. And, if I went back and I saw my dad work a job all his life, and, growing up, I didn't get this, on the weekday. I only get to spend time with him on the weekends. I don't remember him driving me to school. I don't, growing up early on, in freshman, sophomore year, he didn't come to very many games. Mm-hmm. But once my mom started a business, I saw the freedom it could provide. And I see that systemically throughout our society is there's families that are, parents are working, not with their kids and all that stuff. They're not really having that home unit. And I think entrepreneurship and utilizing businesses and real estate together can eventually, provide that freedom that so that families can be together. So, for me, that's what I want to see more of, that, ultimately putting families together so that I get to spend, every day, every hour of the day with my kids, and it's something that I've always dreamed about doing, that what I set out, literally my sophomore year to do. But also that has to come through discipline in your business and organization in your business, and having the right, plans in your business, and being able to operate your business efficiently and effectively. This isn't about, I get triggered by laptop lifestyle, because why own a business if you want to be on your laptop on a beach? You got to realize this is fun, right? This is you get to work with people and transform, bring up new leaders and challenge yourself and all that those and things. So, yeah. So right now, really working with, people who are wanting to transition into start their own business. And then also solopreneurs who are who figured out client acquisition, but it's really building that team and bridging the gap from just themselves into the next level, right? The concept around a battle ready business, you'd eventually be the kind of like the conductor in the orchestra. But, but there's two more phases prior to that you need to go through. That you have that solopreneur phase. And then from there, there's a gap that you need to bridge to get from that solopreneur into actually having a few team members. And that's kind of characterized by the absentee owner test, right? Can you walk away from your business if you were forced to, right? You got to think about that. Like, your family, people depend on you, right? Especially if you have a team, if you couldn't work, what would happen? And, if you're a solopreneur, you're very vulnerable in that situation. If you have a few team members, you might be able to handle it. But ultimately, we want to get out to that third phase so that you could, be the conductor and be the leader of your business instead of just being drug around and beaten up by your business. So.
That's incredible. And I think a lot of our listeners fit that exact demographic. They are, they either hate their 9-to-5, they are looking for something new, they want to start businesses, or they have started, they're just struggling in the beginning processes. What's one initial key or first step of advice you'd give to them? Let's take this. The person who has started their business but is stuck on having it grow. What would be the initial or first step of advice you would give that person? And then we'd move on to the next demographic. But what would be your first piece of advice to the stuck entrepreneur who can't get their business to grow?
So, being a background in fitness, I spent, a lot of times just in training by myself. And there's so many lessons I pulled from that apply to business. It's the discipline to actually repeat and be consistent in daily habits, in daily actions that actually are going to, produce results. And then also showing up authentically in the marketplace, right? And not trying to be somebody you're not. To get to that next level, if you're trying to get clients, you've got to put in the work, right? You've got to be actually producing communicated messages to the marketplace, and you've actually got to be prospecting for clients, right? And don't be the sleazy person who doesn't check out someone's profile, DMs them, and I'm like, we all get them, and we're like, that's not how you do it. If you're networking offline or online, it's very similar. It's just a lot of, hey, how you doing? How can I really serve you first? And then, then it'll be reciprocal in the end game. But if client acquisition is a thing and you haven't dialed in your client avatar or anything like that, and you haven't figured that out, you've got to get out there and put in the hard yards. It's going to cost, it's costing a lot of time. If you figured out that and you're at this point, because there's the other point, right? They're by themselves and they've got all these clients that want to work with them, but they don't know how to bridge the gap. You've got to learn how to lead. You got to learn how to lead and learn how to manage. And you manage through your systems and your infrastructure in your business so that you can lead, right? Your systems and your infrastructure show you what is working and what isn't working. And that's when you come in and lead and coach whatever that is that's not working. If that's a person or the actual system. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. One of the things that we love to help our listeners know is exactly what you elicited, which is the law of outcomes is built on processes and systems. If you change your processes, you change your outcomes. If your outcomes aren't positive, you need to change your processes. And so I love that. I love that that's your guys' structure. And that's what you're helping people do every day, which is amazing. And there are people out there today listening right now that are struggling with that. They want their business to grow. They just haven't taken the necessary course of action to change what they've been doing in the process to influence the outcome. And I love that. And I think that this is an incredible resource for all of you listeners to give these guys a call, because what an opportunity to even just given the battle mindset coaching that's going to get you to where you want to grow your business.
Can I put in something there? I mean, those aspects are, we just talked about systematic, things that are not working. And we could kind of categorize that as skill sets, because once you learn them, you have them, right? So the other side of the coin is your mindsets. And this is where I think more than anything, people want to look at tactics and strategies and this and that, take a course, do this. And they think the next guru is going to help them, when actually they're what's really stopping them is their mindsets. the stuff that's holding them in, like, I've spent years doing personal development and going through this stuff. I started counseling when I was 10 years old, right? And all up through my 20s and all that stuff. Cause my dad left, my dad passed away when I was 20. Like, at the end of the day, like, if all these tactics and strategies have worked or you're not working, then you need to step back and be like, well, maybe it's something internally that I need to fix. And I think more than anything, that's really what's stopping people. They might not know, they might tell themselves, I don't know how to get clients. I want to call BS on that, because the moment you say, I don't know, is the moment that you're actually lying to yourself. And you need to step back and say, well, I need to probably, if I truly don't know the skill set, and I need to go acquire that skill set. But a lot of times it's the mindset. And that's the first place to start. If you want to become battle ready, is in your mind, So
we love that. That is such a powerful principle. And I hope everyone on the other line is hearing this, because this is going to be, this is what a lot of people need to hear. They just need, and some people need advice and some people need consulting, but some people just need to learn how to react if they're going to get punched in the face, and if that's going to be the reaction, then they need to either fight back, fight forward, fight with progress. And I love this. There was a principle that you wanted to share today, a piece of knowledge that you wanted to share. And I love the principle, and I want to give you kind of an opportunity to describe what it is that you wanted to share with the group. What nugget of knowledge would you advise them to I guess, apply in their life?
I just be relentless. Like, your relentless pursuit to wherever you're going, like whatever it takes to get there. Don't let stories, if you're right now, maybe you've left your job to start your business and it's not working, and you think the story is, I have to stay over here and continue this, like, be relentless. Do whatever it takes to, like, take care of your home first before your business, and take care of yourself before that, and be relentless. Have a relentless pursuit in who you're becoming, because this is what the venture is really. Those of us who choose to step out in this, a lot of times the business is a side effect, but it's really who we're pursuing to be in that, relentless pursuit. Because that's, at the end of the day, if you look back, if I look back over the last 15 years of business, I don't look back at the mistakes I made. I look back and I'm regretful for the opportunities that I missed, of like who I didn't show up to be at that time. So, and because I was fully capable, of doing that. And majority of people are fully capable of showing up to being a lot greater than what they're already shown up to be. So
I love that. I love that principle so much, because it's not just, the phrase be relentless is literally be relentless in every aspect of your life. Be relentless at home, be present, be there, be relentless in the relationship with your family, be relentless at work, be relentless in all of that. I love that, because when you do that, that only embodies and emulates exactly what you guys talk about, the fighter mentality, which I love as well. And it is such a awakening thing to describe, to say, you need to be relentless in every aspect of your life. If you think about, and there's a book out there called Relentless by Tim S. Grover. And,
yeah.
He's one of the, the trainers and coaches for one of the greatest athletes in the world, Kobe Bryant to Michael Jordan to all those guys. And what these guys all were relentless. They were focused on winning and focused on the passion and focused on the game. And even in their personal lives, whatever that might have looked like as well for each of those greats, it was relentlessness. And I think it's a fantastic principle.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Well, awesome. Well, hey, this has been awesome. Hey, Anthony, how can people get a hold of you, and what would you advise them to do when they want to reach out?
Yeah, just find me on Facebook, Anthony D. Campo. I have my page there. Pretty simple. My profile and my page are the same thing. It's pretty easy. So, I have a website, but most of the time everybody's on Facebook. So, unless you're like a youngster and you're on Instagram or whatever the new app is, but yeah.
And if you are a youngster, give us a call, because I want to know why you listen to our show. That'd be helpful for me to know, so I can keep growing the youngster crowd amongst our audience. If you're a youngster and you want to reach out to Anthony, Facebook will do. You borrow your dad's.
I mean, I'm on Instagram. Just search my name, Anthony D. Campo, and you can find me. So
fantastic. And then how can they learn more about your business?
Yeah, I have our website, battlereadybusiness.com, or even on Facebook, Battle Ready Business. And I have a Facebook group called the podcast is Be Battle Ready, and then the Facebook group's Be Battle Ready. So
love it. Well, I'll make sure to put all of that information in our show notes. So if you're listening on your device or your mobile device, you can look at all that information down below, click the link, and you'll be able to find Anthony Campo, Anthony D. Campo. Anthony, thanks for jumping on the call. Thanks for being a member of our community, attending our masterminds, but even just being a contributor to this incredible society where you're helping people be battle ready and to have that fighter mentality in their business and their life and so forth. It is so essential. And I know that our listeners especially need to hear this message.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, this is Jon with Amplified Minds. Thanks again for listening to the show. We really hope you enjoyed the Circle of Knowledge podcast. If you like the Circle of Knowledge podcast, go ahead, subscribe, rate us, and if you give us a 5-star review, we promise to give you a personal shout out here on the air. Just watch us. You can also engage with us a little bit more through social media. On any channel, you can just find us at Amplified Minds. To learn more about Amplified Minds, go to our website at amplifiedminds.com. That's AMPLIFIEDMINDS.com. Through our website, you can join any one of our mastermind groups from anywhere in the world. In the mastermind groups, you and other members of the community of achievers can mastermind and talk about all of your aspirations, your dreams, your goals, and even the challenges you face, whether you're a business owner or an entrepreneur or anything else. You can achieve your goals through a mastermind group. You should also check out the Amplified Minds Accountability Program, where you can gain access to a one-on-one personal accountability coach, somebody who will contact you weekly and motivate you, hold you accountable, follow up, and give you the proper resources that will help you to go out and achieve all your goals. Hey, shout out to all you coaches, speakers, mentors, the superheroes of the world. We have the perfect program for you and your audiences. We have the capabilities of setting your audience and communities up in private mastermind groups and assign them a one-on-one personal accountability coach where they can help your people achieve the things that they're working towards, tailored to your programs. For more information about this, go ahead and send me an email at Jon, that's JON, at amplifiedminds.com. I look forward to hearing from you.